Washington finally made its way to a Super Bowl. I think this is the first time we're playing someone in the Super Bowl who had a tie on the season. So yeah, just showing it off. Won by a touchdown. We won by under 2 touchdowns because of bullshit. Anyways, injury report, and then we'll get into it. No one injured for us, fortunately. Ooh, full strength against full strength. Let's see what happens. I assume this is actually our first time playing Jawan Williams in the Super Bowl. Yep, he's the best player on their team. How? I guess Ellis Batch is just that good. Wait, did we play them this season? I swear we did. Did in the preseason. Maybe I'm just tripping. I'm just tripping because I always see that when I'm opening up our schedule. Good fullback. Former Steeler Jawan Williams, before we had to release him due to competitive balancing. That receiver core drops off heavily if we can injure one of them, or if one of them gets injured. Ooh, that's about it. It's going to be fun. I'd say this team probably shouldn't have made this Super Bowl, but they are definitely, at least as of now, appear to be a good playoff team. That is a great O-lineman, Case Will, for a rookie at least. Probably playing either right or left tackle. Harmon Suttle, fresh off a career year, now has made it to the Super Bowl with a new team. Shamir Lloyd, who I believe we traded to them.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Coachman, and this is Super Bowl Sunday on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Washington Redskins. Kickoff now just moments away. It is finally time to crown a champion, as I'll hand it over to the two men who will call the action, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Alongside my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We are honored to be here for the biggest spectacle in sports, the Super Bowl. Are you ready, partner?
I am more than ready, and I love the word you used. Honored, because it is an honor to be here. It's a privilege to be here. My excitement is just about to burst through the booth. I can't wait to do this.
Well, and sitting with both of these teams and talking in the meetings and media day and all the hoopla that goes into this, there was one common theme. They're ready to stop the talking and start playing football.
Yeah, they were probably ready a while ago. Now they can just focus on it. It's done. The only talking they have to worry about now is post-game, and they hope that they'll be talking as the winning team.
And we'll see. You know, both sides come in with a game plan to start. We'll see how the adjustments are made throughout, because there are always adjustments in this game.
I want to see if they come out conservative, trying to minimize errors, or if they have enough confidence to attack early and try and take advantage of the other team's nervousness.
All the talk, all the hype, but the pastors prologue as this Super Bowl is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Let's go! What? 90!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Caught by Nelson left side. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
Came up about a yard short, but I can't help it, Brandon. I love it when the big guy gets the football and he tries to battle his way forward. There's something about those guys carrying the ball and watching people trying to stop them. That's just great theater.
So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive.
I'd like to know what Darren Bush
And they'll be let out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Come on, let's go! What?
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very solid gain of 27.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Come on, let's go!
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back to throw now on first down. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal.
Here we go.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal.
Here we go. What? 90.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. This is caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Now they try the right side here. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Now a look at the defensive starters here for the Steelers. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
I was so proud of you in our meeting with the defensive coordinator because you asked the question that set him off. And all you said was, so what improvement do you need to see this week, Coach? And boy, he got fired up, didn't he? Takeaways. We need turnovers. We got to create them. Got so animated, jumped up in our meeting. It was fun to watch.
Somehow I always upset a coordinator in those meetings. Yeah. But they like you. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Let's go. Brad 38. Brad 38.
Back to throw here. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
Taken in at the 22. Powers through it. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Let's go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And, oh, a little spin cycle. Room to run now.
Another miss.
Still on his feet. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So 1 quarter down here in the Super Bowl. And they've got it here with a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Wide open receiver complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off that.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. Taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 14-0. They have the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Redskins now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggles, still winning here in the 2nd quarter.
Let's go! What?
They'll look to throw here. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go! What?
And they'll go on the ground. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Over the middle, it's complete. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. They'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
Back to throw. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. In for the score. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out now come the Redskins. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here we go. Brand 38.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Call it a gain of 5. And they're going to face a third down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Out of the gun now on third down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3-and-out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit. We're not even at halftime.
This is taken at the 18. And he spins through. Oh, he did it again. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A big play there, 51 yards. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. And they'll run it here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. And the Steelers signal for another timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. This is taken at the 23. So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. Thus far, this Super Bowl has looked less like a contest and more like a coronation. And to call the second half, let's get it right back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. Fielded about a yard deep. And oh, he spins past him and into space. Through an opening, and there he goes. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great
It's a big
play
return.
there. 101 yards. And the Steelers this offense, they continue to pour it on.
And talk about taking words and bringing them to life. At halftime, I will guarantee you in their locker room, they talked about pressing the kicking game because you can get an advantage if you do it right, and they just did.
Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead.